Okay. All right. So I'm just writing notes here. Now,
Yeah.
with the Path to Freedom, did you just listen to the one that's on YouTube, or did you sign up for the second class, the number 2?
I listened to the one that was on YouTube. Like, there's a lot of holes in her process, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you know, she doesn't give all the information. She says send it to the indentured trustee, which tells me that you know, she doesn't know what she's talking about really. Because she did turn she is the reason I figured out what was going on, but you know, I was able to call I actually got on the phone with the indentured trustee for Verizon, and he is the one who told me it is not a registered security instrument. They call it accounts receivable. And
Okay.
did you get that thing I sent you?
Let me take a look here.
Oh, hold on. It didn't send it. Sorry, my bad. One sec.
Okay.
Here. Okay, so here's their indenture trust. Everything you're going to need to know is in there.
Okay.
Right. There's a couple different ways you can satisfy your obligation. You can also use like a closed account.
I don't understand what that means.
Okay, so if you have like a bank account that was open in the past and that you closed, that account is still open on the private side, and you can use that to satisfy obligations or discharge debt lawfully.
Okay, so would I give them a copy of the check, my checks from that old closed bank account?
You just send them a check from that closed bank account.
Okay.
Because that account is still open in order to satisfy obligations.
Okay.
And it'll go through like nobody's business, and they legally have an obligation to satisfy the matter if you instruct them to do so. So send a 56F to the bank, making them the fiduciary over the account, and any matters that you send their way. And contract with it's all everything's about contracts. If you can set up a contract that they can't rebut and that they don't dispute, then it stands as fact. And with that, you can do anything you want. You know, you could say that this bill will automatically discharge itself every month, if that's how you want to set it up, and you can get them to agree either by non-response or by an incorrect response. That's another way you can take care of your bill.
Okay.
But just a couple things. If you give me a little bit, I'll send you some literature on the different processes I've just told you about, so that you can look into them further and see what all the facts in the process, so you can see which one's going to work best for you.
Okay. All right, great.
Can you please send that to me too, Sarah?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too, Sarah. And I had a question about the acceptance part of it. What exactly are you putting the word acceptance anywhere on your bill?
Yeah, yeah. It's in the endorsement. So
you mean the one that's on the what is
CFR?
It? Which the CFR that she mentioned?
Yeah, I'll get you the code in just a minute. But if you just look up endorsements for securities in the CFR, I think it's like 342 or something like that. 342.8 maybe.
Okay. The that's supposed to be on the top left side of the bill, right?
So there's one like excerpt, I would guess you could call it, that goes on the front, and there's one that goes on the back, like on the back bottom of the coupon where you're endorsing it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it tells you how to do it in the indenture trust there. Like it tells you what they're expecting of you and what they need, and the biggest thing is that it's called an accounts receivable. It's not a registered security instrument. It's not a securities. It's not, bond. It's none of those things. It's a accounts receivable, which technically that's what that is, but that's the language you need to use when you're asking questions about this to the company.
And so you're sending this to the company itself, or are you looking for the trustee?
It's not the trustee. There is a agent that's appointed to handle the accounts receivables, and you got to send it to her.
How would I go about getting in contact with that person? I just call them up or text them on the
Here.
website and say,
Here, I'm sending you the indenture trust so you can check it out. Okay. And then let me send it to.
Is it
Okay,
the
Ghost, you
registered
wanted
agent?
it.
Is it the registered agent? Would it be the registered agent you looking for?
I think that they're listed. Okay, so I think it's like on page 70 or something is where it starts talking about accounts receivables. And there's an address in there, and there is the name of Jennifer something or other.
okay, so I have AT&T, so I should be able to do the same thing.
Okay, so you need to find the document I just sent you. You need to find the matching one for AT&T. Look inside of the document, just read it, and it's going to tell you your process.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate
the other thing
that.
you could do is you could call AT&T and ask them about accounts receivables, where you send them who is the agent that's appointed to receive process of service for accounts receivables, to receive the instruments, to receive the registered. And after you say accounts receivables, then you could call it a registered security instrument. But start out by saying accounts receivable, because that's like, the statements that they're sending you every month is for the accounts receivables.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'll get you that code here in just a minute. And if my phone dies, I apologize. I'll be right back on. I just need to find my little cube to plug my phone in. But the company is supposed to delegate authority to a specific agent in order to handle matters like this, or a number of agents to handle matters for the accounts receivables. And like I said, the indenture trustee for Verizon, Matthew Ellis, I believe is what his name is, he's the one who told me about this stuff. He's like, yeah, we got a bunch of people sending us accounts receivables. Why are you guys sending a bunch of stuff to the indenture trustee? I said, well, if you go on YouTube, it's pretty self-explanatory. And I sent him the link of the video so he could see why it was all going to him. And he's like, yeah, if I get anything, I just send it to the corporate office. But I think what you need to look into further is accounts receivables. But that's all I can tell you. And then he, I thanked him and I ended the call. But definitely, once you get that language, the accounts receivables, it puts everything into perspective and it makes sense to me, anyways. Like it just it filled in the missing gaps of Tamika's process.
Yeah, because I recently sent something to the trustee for AT&T, and I know that when somebody had they had like a live call, and the guy mentioned that he sent his in and he inquired about it, and then they mentioned that they had to send it off to someplace else. So maybe that's what they did.
Yeah, it's accounts receivables. And I don't think like she would give that information out on like a free video, because otherwise what has she got to offer? You know, she's got to have some kind of gimmick to get everybody to buy her class, which I don't blame her. I mean, that's smart, but I kind of feel like, you know, she shouldn't be giving out wrong information, because it's going to just make, you know, issues for the companies themselves.
True. Yeah, because everybody's sending to the wrong place.
Right. It's causing them to have to deal with things that they shouldn't have to, and probably an overabundance of them as well. So that's not right.
So Sarah, I'm looking at
Yes.
31 CFR 328.5 and .6. So there they have, if I recall from that Path to Freedom video, she referenced those two codes on endorsements, restrictive endorsements. Does that ring a bell?
I think you're right. I want to say it was like there was something with a 0.8 in it.
Okay.
Also. So see if there's a section 8 within what you're looking at right now.
Okay. Let's see.
Because it should be like a pay to the order. Your acceptance and assignment.
And I remember we were supposed to change it to, I think, because we're, what is it, Fiscal Bureau or something like that? We're supposed to change it to Treasury or something to that effect.
I put the Treasury. Because, you know, per HJR 192, public servants are supposed to take care of all the debts. And to me, the Treasury is definitely public servant.
Right.
Did it work for you, Sarah?
It did.
The correcting the process, did it work?
It did, because it's been 3 months. I've done the closed account, and then I did the bond, you know, the signed bond, and both have worked.
For a court case, right?
For my Verizon bill.
Say it again. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, for Verizon.
Please. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know how I got sidetracked. Trying to work with this computer and the phone, doing different things.
Yeah, you know, I was just curious. I wanted to see which processes would work. So I was like, okay, so I did the whole endorsement and sending off the instrument, and that worked. So I was like, okay, so now let me try this closed checking account process and see if that works, because worst case scenario, if it doesn't satisfy my obligation, then I will just go back to the one that does. Well, this other way is a little bit easier because you can kind of set it up to be automatic.
The closed checking account is the automatic process?
Yeah, because I just put in the routing number and the account number, and then Verizon turned it into a virtual debit card or something, and it's on automatic payments now, and it just takes care of itself. I don't have to do anything anymore.
And when you said you sent the 56F to the bank, was that for the closed account?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. And I sent the bank a statement that said, you know, of my intent, what I was planning on doing first. I didn't just do it. And I said, should this process be unacceptable, or should it cause your institution any harm, damage, loss, or issues, please notify me within 24 hours. And if not, then I will then per your non-response, you agree to these terms, and I just put that any obligation that is directed their way on my behalf shall be satisfied with said account, and that I have the right and authority to do this process, and that it is causing nobody any hardship, and it's done in good faith. And I didn't hear a word from them, but they had to respond in writing, and they didn't. I think I sent it out on like a Tuesday or something.
And did you send that to like your bank's CEO?
I sent it a couple places. So I sent it to the legal department, the head of the legal department. I sent it to the chief financial officer, the executor, or the executive, the guy who's over the whole institution, the local branch manager where I was doing my banking business in the past. Who else did I send it to? I think that was it. Oh, I sent it to the director of their of public relations, I think, and then the director. I think there's one more I sent it to. I just I went on my bank, because I used or I had an account with Navy Federal, so I went on their website and I just looked at their their different departments, and I pulled out the ones that were like relevant to my process and addressed the man or woman who leads that department, and I just sent it to everybody who I thought it could possibly need to go to, because the more the merrier is what I'm thinking. At least that way I don't not send it to somebody I'm supposed to. And I put in there clearly, should this should you not find this process to be correct, notify me. And they didn't.
And so all of those to your bank, all of those at the bank, you sent those registered, or you just sent it certified or regular?
I sent it registered to the form 56 I sent registered, but to the bank, because I didn't feel like those were like registered security instruments, or like it was a contract. I sent it just with the green card, so with the signature.
Somebody had a question about the AT&T information, and it is somewhere in the chat from a few weeks ago. So they could probably search on AT&T and find the information for AT&T.
All right, thank you.
And you guys are more than welcome to put that the indenture trust that I sent you guys. You can share that in the chat so anybody can have it who needs it.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Sarah, Tat, Patricia, everybody. Definitely can use that information.
And that it doesn't just satisfy like for phone service. Like, I have device payments and everything that were, if it were like an asleep person paying the bill, the quote unquote bill, or satisfying the statement, however you want to say it. There's the device protection, there's device payments, there's the taxes for all those things, and it takes care of all of it. And this month I needed a new Apple Pencil. So it Verizon does this thing where you can like bill it to your account, and I'm gonna see if when my automatic payment comes out, if it takes care of everything or if it's gonna trip it up. So I'll keep you posted on that one.
So you know how Paths to Freedoms talk about whenever we send in the quote unquote registered security, um, then we're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to get um, like deposits to a TDA account. So with the way that you've been doing it, all you've been doing is getting it discharged, but not anything into a TDA or anything like that.
No, I didn't do the with the Treasury that way. I don't have them routed through through like a Treasury Direct account or whatever. But you do need to put instructions with whatever you're doing so that whoever's on the receiving end of your process understands what they are to do with their presentment. And just to be clear, for the closed account process, in my opinion, it is crucial that you send a notice of intent of what you're planning on doing before you do it, with a self-executing, caveat that non-response or silence is acceptance, and that they agree. I don't know if that was what made it as successful as it is, but it definitely is a safeguard, and it makes it so that the onus and the mistake is on their part if it's not something you're supposed to be doing. Because I gave proper notice and they didn't respond, they agree.
And how much time did you give them to respond before you sent out the check closed account?
24 hours.
Oh, okay.
I probably should have given them more time, but I lagged and uh, didn't get my things done on the schedule that I should have had them done. So my service was going to be in jeopardy if I didn't do it quick. So I did.
And then the notice of intent went to the closed account,
The bank.
to that bank and to the Verizon.
You could send a copy of it to Verizon, but see, on Verizon's end, they don't they're not even doing anything with it anymore. It's just like they're processing a payment, um and all they're doing is sending a notice to the bank and saying, "Okay, she's authorized this, and this much, so please forward the settlement or the payment or whatever it is that they do." And that's with the closed account. So I only sent the notice of intent to the financial institution, Navy Federal.
How long has your account been closed with them? I thought maybe it was 3 years. I think that we could have used the close, or I don't know if that matters.
I think you're right. My account has been closed with them for 6 months. So there was I hadn't used the account in a long time, and I had somebody had written me a check and I needed a way to cash it. So I started using the account again, and I didn't know that somebody had taken out a couple $1,000 loan in my name without my knowledge. So I just, without even thinking about it, I deposited the check into my account, and all the funds were immediately absorbed to satisfy this obligation that they thought belonged to me. So that's, the account was closed after I tried to work with them, file a police report, and file a Consumer Protection Board report and the FTC and take to, and then I've recently done the W-4 on it. But yeah, Navy Federal just wanted to play games and tell me about how that is my responsibility and my obligation to satisfy. So I said, all right, I don't want to do business with you anymore. But I didn't let them know that. I told them I didn't want to do business with them publicly. I didn't say I didn't want to do business with them privately. And so far it's working out. And I think this will be my 4th month of, no, this will be my 3rd month of that process. And it, getting to a zero balance every month. And then, they place more charges on the account and then it zeroes out. So
And that's for Verizon, right? So,
yes, sir.
Thank you.
Verizon. Or Cellco is their other name they go by.
Okay. Yeah, I've been having problems with T-Mobile doing the 1099 stuff. I talked to the CEO, sent it to the CEO, but I got to send it to the registered agent then instead of the CFO, CEO, right?
The other thing you could do is you could find out who the registered agent is. There's usually a phone number where you can call the office. But if not, write them a letter and just ask a bunch of questions for, the specific process for whatever company you're trying to, create a process with. And if you can get to the right person and use the right language, they will tell you all you need to know.
Yeah,
just like Matthew Ellis told me everything, but I truly believe it's because of how I spoke to him, and that I didn't just demand anything. I didn't tell him some garbled word salad about bonds and discharge and secured party and sovereign citizen and all this other stuff. No, I just said that I have a registered security instrument that I'm using to satisfy an obligation, and I need to know if it's appropriate to send it to him or where I should send it. And that's when he told me, I think what you're talking about is accounts receivables. Are you talking about satisfying the obligation on a monthly statement? And I said, yeah. So that's when he came up with the accounts receivables and, kind of pointed me in the direction that I was pretty far away from at the time when I called him. And he told me, go back and read the indenture. Just read it from start to finish if you have to.
So you ain't even mentioned it then. You just said security instrument, and you ain't even mentioned about the indenture. Because a lot of times, like if it's a guy talking to a guy, even if I do the security instrument lingo, sometimes they don't want to talk to you. But once upon a time, I did talk to I don't know who the guy was, and he had gave me the email and everything. I just haven't checked the email. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna pay the bill. I done tried this, I done tried that, I done before them. I did this, I did all that. It's still 537. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. So call him, and I mean, you could even if you can find the indenture trust or the 8K, the 10K on the SEC website, that will help you so much. And then just look for accounts receivables language, like in the table of contents. Just look for accounts receivables, and like in the Verizon one, it's on like page 70. You might even want to check out the Verizon one just to see kind of what it looks like. And then look for the same kind of language in the T-Mobile indenture trust, and it should tell you exactly what to do.
You're making me want to switch to the Verizon company.
I
Then
would.
just pay
I use
T-Mobile
T-Mobile.
later. I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's
Man,
does it
what's the
sound like
sauce
it's
for
that easy?
AT&T?
Man, what's up, private bank? Private
What's
dish?
up?
What's
What's
up?
up, fam?
What's up, brother? What's
Man,
going on?
what's the sauce for? Y'all get the sauce for AT&T too?
Oh man, because if it worked for one, it worked for all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even lie to you. You know, because it's a phone company, right? And I ain't trying to be an asshole, bro. I'm just saying, you know, if it worked for one, it
Yeah,
worked for
yeah, it's a
all.
phone company for real. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm taking notes, bro.
yeah,
Well, it
real
works
talk.
for credit card companies. It works for any debt because all debts are obligations of the United States because there is no money. That's why we can do this because they took away our way to pay for stuff, and you can't pay a debt with a debt, so there's discharge.
Because I'm gonna
That's
be
why this
honest
works.
with you. What I've been doing too, I'm like so I go on my credit report, right? So each credit report, instead of disputing it, I dispute it over the phone. So I tell them, I say, this is such and such, such and such. Yes, I'm the person, but if you can't give me the original contract within 30 days, 21 days, 21 to 30 days, then please, you know, the wet ink original signature on the original contract, please delete it. Don't call my phone no more. Don't do none of that. You know, and then with one company, credit, what is it? Capital One. They closed the account, deleted it, and I was like, wow, this shit really worked. You know what I'm
Did
saying?
they put it back on?
No,
For how
it's
long
not
has it
on
been off?
there. They closed it, and my credit score went up like 25 points. So I just
How long
been
has it been off your account?
first they kept putting it back on there. It's about a couple weeks now. Yeah, about a couple
So
weeks.
I'm curious to see if next month if it goes back on or not.
Oh no, and I'm gonna keep doing it, and then I'm gonna threaten with the HJR. I'm gonna threaten their ass. Keep on doing it if you want to, but it's all for that.
See,
So all of my
if
old
you
hospital bills, all my medical bills, I'm gonna do that the same exact way. But with the
the
phone
medical
bill,
bills, they passed the act where they got to take those off anyways because of HIPAA law.
okay,
So you can
thank
sit on that one. But for the credit bureaus, if you put everything in writing, not only do you have admissible evidence, you have a record. And if you put things in writing and then they're playing around with you like that, you can write a complaint to the CFPB and TICTA and really have documentation to back up what you're saying. And it'll probably stick, and then they won't be able to put it back on at all because at that point, you'll have documentation and stuff that you could send to the credit reporting bureau and say, look, they keep agreeing to take it off, and now they're putting it back on. You know, they're breaching the contract. Here's evidence of said contract. Can you please assist in this matter and block them from reporting this unverified, unvalidated debt,
right,
to which I am not obligated to satisfy. And it
yeah,
is
because I'm
harming my.
Make sure you use words of power, bro. I mean, no disrespect to Sarah, but you want to use words of power, like because you have all the rights. Like them credit bureaus is the easiest to get off you to move them. Like all the other stuff is hard, but credit bureaus, they private entities.
third party collection agency, right? That's what I told them. I say, can you say it again? Who am I speaking to? I said, y'all are the third party collection agency, right? So I was like, I think it was CF. I was like, according to the CFPB or something like that. I say, y'all third party collection agency, y'all basically, y'all bought my credit, and that's against the law. You know what I'm saying? And I say, if you don't, I say, do you have the original? Somebody did tell me on the chat. I said, do you have the original wedding signature contract? If you don't, please delete it. You know, please delete. You know, I be want to say just delete the shit, but you know, want to be
Hey,
It's too
no,
coming
don't
late.
on.
say
I
please.
want to
Don't
be
say
in
please.
honor.
Say you have 10 days, or give them. You have 10 days to remove these items and to send me an updated credit report with these items being removed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stay in offense. Don't be in defense.
No, that's what I was saying. I say I could, but I won't do it. I won't like be so defense like far as cursing at them. But I just keep saying it over and over and over again, like the wedding signature original contract.
Here's the other
but
thing: if they're a third party to the action or a third party interloper, and they've purchased the debt, you can just thank them for satisfying your obligation.
Exactly.
Because there's no contract between you and the third party.
That's facts. Yeah.
They have no standing.
So
thank them for paying your debt.
Right.
Move on with your day.
And then a lot of times they say, "Oh, well, this is through Capital One," and I said, "You are the third party collection agent. Thank you for paying my debt." Like you said, yeah, but I feel.
But make sure that they purchase it, because they could be hired by the company to, collect on their behalf. So if that's the case, then you want to see their authority to operate in the state you're in. You want to see their authority to act for the original creditor. You want to know who the original creditor is. You want to see the on ledger and the off ledger on both the private and public side, as to all accounting for said account. And you need to put a caveat in there that silence is acquiescence, and should they not respond to your presentment appropriately, that it's the same as if they didn't respond at all. Give them so long. You have to put a date in there that they have to respond by, and address it to a man or woman who at times acts as a third-party debt collector for Capital One, Citibank, or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, like private business was saying, 10 days. Give them 10 days. There
you go.
The 21 days. Yeah. So that's gonna make them act fast. Because guess what? I know why you said private bank. I know why you said 7 days. I mean 10 days. Because it take you 7 to 10 days to get a credit card. It take you 7 to 10 days to do a lot of things for them to ship, do accounts receivable, shipping and receiving. You know what I'm saying? So
they need like 3 days to deal with it, and then you think about how long it's going to take to put it in the mail, and then how long it's going to take to receive it from the mail.
And then by you giving them time, you're staying in honor.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, because they give you 7 to 10 business days to do this and do that. So you're doing the same exact thing. You just using their same business on them.
Well, if you think about it, there's a grace contract too. Right, and there's a grace period as well. But an obligation is considered satisfied the second you drop it in the mail. So like the date it's stamped that it's been mailed, that's the date that they have to go off of. So I don't care if if it's due on the 1st, right? If you place it into the mail and there is a postage stamp or some kind of stamp from the post that says it was received on the 1st, that's the date that it was paid, and they cannot charge you a late fee.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely true.
There's so many ways to handle
How your dogs, Sarah?
They're good. They're being quiet right now. For once. But
hey Sarah, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I love hearing you share your process and your wisdom. You always blow me away. You always blow me away, girl.
Oh, you're crazy. How you been?
I've been good. Helping a friend with she had a contract that wasn't really a contract, and did her due diligence, and now the woman who has this little business, she's crazy enough to pull her into court. So the woman's in Colorado and my friend is here in California, and she got she got served. We think, we don't know, because her father was served, at her home where she lives. He lives there too. So I'm trying to figure out if she even has service. Her things on her court date is for the 12th. So she's under the gun now with very few days to respond. And we're trying to figure out how to do, it's weird because we're hung up on, when you get a summons, you have to answer. And if you look up the definition of answer, it means that you're accepting the liability of the debtor. So we're trying to figure out how to answer without answering. You know what I'm saying?
Just put that in your response that you in no way accept the liability of the debtor.
That's what I'm thinking. Just cross out the word answer, or put the definition of answer for them, right?
It's
like
your
make
response. It could be your response or your
a
presentment.
response is an answer. Yeah, presentment is where I'm thinking when I'm hearing you talk today. I'm like, that's it. It's presentment. I forgot that word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would use presentment because if you're presenting yourself, you are there. You are,
Yeah.
participating.
Yeah. Okay. And my assumption, and believe me, we've been digging in all the codes and everything. My assumption is if she gets that in the mail Monday, that counts, like you were just saying, about dates, as soon as it's in the mail.
It's received by the USPS, it's received by where it's going to.
Okay, thank you. That helps.
Make sure you get them to round bop stamp it for you and put actual stamps, like 2 cent, 5 cent, 25 cent stamps, not forever stamps.
Not forever stamps. Okay, I want to make a note. So at the post office, have them round stamp her document.
And do not use a scanned label or like a printed, label to mail anything